everyone, and welcome to my very last installments to my Bratz collection video series. So we're ending this video series with my two Yasmin videos, which is very fitting in a way because Yasmin was my first Bratz doll ever.
So one of the dolls you're about to meet is what started the now close to 800 doll
obsession.
Yeah.
So I want to clarify before I start this video that I have always called Yasmin Yasmin. I know it drives people absolutely bonkers when they hear me kind of like offhandedly pronounce it wrong. I know I'm saying it wrong, but there's a reason I call her Yasmin, which we'll find out in a few minutes. So this video is going to cover my Yasmin dolls from 2001 to 2006. I love Yasmin. She is my most special Bratz character in a lot of ways. I've come to love Jade just as much as an adult, but as a kid it was always hands down Yasmin. I'm gonna have to start calling her Yasmin because Yasmin doesn't sound natural in my head. so I have so many fond memories of Yasmin as an adult and as a kid, and she represents a lot of firsts in terms of my collection. And
I've also always thought that her beauty was like close to godliness.
Yes, she's absolutely gorgeous. So all of these dolls mean so very much to me. Dolls using my collection. I recommend checking out my Flickr. I have pictures of every doll in my collection and facial close-ups and clothes and all kinds of good stuff. So you don't have to sit and watch one of these videos. If you're interested in that, I'll link it below. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my dolls. So this is a quick pan of all of my Yasmin dolls. Ta-da-da! These are my two first edition Yasmin dolls. This one over here is actually the Bratz Collector's Edition 4-pack doll from 2005, which was a Target exclusive, but the one next to her is a real original doll, and the difference is that the originals do not have holes punched in their shoes, but the re-releases do. Everything else about the dolls is the same. My dad got me this 4-pack randomly one night when we were at Target because he knew how much I loved Bratz dolls, and I was over the moon to have gotten this set. I never in a million years dreamed my dad would let me get such an expensive set on a whim, but he knew how much I loved them, and this was one of the last sets of Bratz dolls I had growing up. Even though I didn't make as many memories with them as I did with some of my earlier dolls, they still mean just as much to me, and they're probably one of my most special sets of Bratz in my entire collection. And then I got this lady as an adult in 2011 from the Generation Girl bin that fall. She was in a big zippered case with a bunch of really nice Barbies, mostly Generation Girls. And then we have the Bratz doll that started it all. This is 2002 Express It Yasmin. I have three. This is my first Bratz doll of them all. She actually looks really good considering how much I played with her, but her hair is a lot duller than my other dolls because I've had her so long. So
And she's still my favorite.
the story is that fall, I had a friend come over my house and she brought all of her dolls so that we could play with each other's dolls. And I was usually not the sort of kid that wanted to play with my friends' dolls. I'm like a doll hygiene freak, and you know, I like to smell dolls and know that they're clean, and you know, her dolls were not up to my standard. But when I saw her Bratz dolls, I was really intrigued. I had only seen them like one other time at the flea market, like brand new boxed, and when I was looking at her dolls, I fell in love. And what drew me to Bratz was their like interesting proportions. I really love the oversized heads and like their skinny bodies, and unlike a lot of like off-brand dolls that aren't made by Mattel, they weren't like made of a really cheap plastic, and their hair was super beautiful and fun to play with. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but the reason why I don't collect more like clone dolls and stuff is actually because the smell of really cheap plastic makes me sick, and I used to get car sick as a kid. I still kind of do. So I always had to be kind of careful about like what dolls I played with on hot days and stuff. So having a doll that didn't ever make me feel sick like Bratz was a really good bonus. And I just loved her hair quality. I loved the clothing and like the detail of the clothing. And I played with her Bratz Express It Yasmin all afternoon, and then I ended up telling my dad how much I liked her, so he took me to KB Toys. This was in the fall of 2002, and I wanted to get the exact doll she had, so I picked her out. My dad bought her for me, and I remember as we were leaving the store, he looked at her box, and I had been calling her Yasmin at this point because that's what my friend told me her name was, and he said, no, I think it's Yasmin, like the actress. So that is why I call her Yasmin and not Yasmin. It's because that's who she was to my dad, and that's who she was to to me as a kid, and I just think that sounds really pretty. It's probably my most played with Bratz doll. I adore everything about her, and I'm so glad she's still part of my collection. And I loved her so much that when I got back into collecting dolls after a 5-year hiatus, I found this lady boxed at a yard sale. She was only like $5. My dad said that I could get her because he actually knew she was my first Bratz doll. So that makes her even more special. This third lady, I got her at an indoor flea market in, I want to say, the fall of 2013. She was with like a few other Yasmin dolls, and they had like bags of clothes with them, so I bought her, and I thought she was going to have to be a body donor because her hair was hacked. Like you can see, someone tried giving her bangs, but I was able to even it out and make it look beautiful. Then we have my 2002 Funk and Glow Yasmin dolls. This was my first one. She was one of my very first secondhand Bratz dolls. I got her at a flea market in the summer of 2011. She was nude and 50 cents, but I knew who she was. I recognized her makeup. Always wanted a Funk and Glow doll. I actually liked the 2003 Yasmin best. Her little friend I like even more because I got her at Savers in a bag with random dolls in 2015. She's actually in my very first treasure hunt album photo on Flickr. She was totaled. She had a lot of damage. It took me so long to like fix this doll up, but I'm so glad I saved her. And then we have my 3 Flaunt-It Yasmin dolls. This was my first one. I got her from a lot of Craigslist dolls that I got in the fall of 2011. They were this girl's Bratz dolls that her grandparents used to play with the dolls and her together, so they were really special. She was from that lot, and then not long after, I found this doll at an indoor flea market for $1, and I knew I already had Flaunt-It Yasmin, but I got her because I just loved her so much. And then we have my third one here, who I got in 2014 from the Sweetheart Dana lot at my local flea market. And then we have my 2002 Slumber Party Yasmin dolls. I've said this a million times in these videos, but I always wanted Slumber Party dolls growing up, but I didn't have any. So when I found her from the same seller that sold me my first secondhand Bratz doll, I had to get her. I think I got her in 2011 too, but I don't remember. And then this girl I got actually with this Express It doll. She was one of the ones that was with the bags of clothes, and she had green stains all over her face when I got her. Then we have my 2 Beach Party Yasmins, and I actually got the doll next to her. So these 2 I got with that Yasmin. It was the 3 of them. She also kind of has cut hair. It's less noticeable from the front, but I was really excited to have her because I had Beach Party Chloe growing up. Twin over here should look familiar because she was in one of my transformation videos. I got her at a consignment store, a charity store, recently, and I knew who she was, and I knew she didn't have cut hair, so I brought her home. And then we have really bad gluttony. This is my most duplicated Bratz doll. This is 2002 Strut It Yasmin. I have 8. This is my first lady. I got her for 50 cents. I actually got her with my Funk and Glow Yasmin over there. I thought she was so beautiful. I love her face. She is one of the prettiest dolls I've ever seen. And the blue eyes, the dark lips, the highlighted hair. And she was actually the only one I ever bought separately, in the greatest irony. And I did give her a piercing at some point when I was going through a little phase of that. It looks really cute though. Then we have my second one here. I got her from a lot of dolls on Craigslist called Craigslist One in the fall of 2011. She was with like 70 some odd Bratz dolls that really kickstarted my collection, and they're really special to me because I'll never forget the day that my dad took me out to get these dolls. And then this is my third one. I got her from Craigslist number 2. Her name's Vanessa because I think she looks like the actress Vanessa Williams. She's got like a more faded skin tone than my other dolls, and I have a little piercing over here too. I think she's the prettiest of them. And okay, so this is my fourth one, and I actually wanted a fourth because at some point I ended up getting the second outfit. I was missing a piece to it, but I really liked Vanessa and this Yaz in these outfits. I didn't want to change them out, so I said to Colleen I'd like to have a fourth one, and then she turned up not long after I said that in the Bratz shoe bin of 2012. So it was just a lot with a bunch of naked Bratz and a ton of Bratz shoes, and she was my fourth one.
And after that, someone missed the memo that we had the desired amount.
The universe missed the memo and kept sending me Strut It Yasmin dolls. This lady here, I got her on eBay in a lot with a bunch of Yasmin clothes and my Sun Kiss Summer Yasmin doll. There was 5 different lots like this from this seller on eBay in 2013, and I bought them to hoard the clothes, and I just ended up with her. And then she's also from eBay. She was in the New Year's Celebration Yasmin lot, and she had all her stuff too. Both of these dolls did. And then this is my second favorite because I got her at a consignment store in 2014 with my Wintertime Wonderland Cameron in a little container. And I just love her in this outfit. It gives her so much personality, and I like how her hair is in a bun. I had a lot of fun dressing up this doll, can't you tell? Like, these dolls dress so well. And then this is Colleen's second favorite.
I really like that.
I got her from the Flashback Fever lot of 2015. It was a big lot of like really mint looking Bratz dolls I got at my flea market because I wanted the Flashback Fever retro ride. 3 Strut It Yasmin dolls. The one over here on the end, this is my childhood doll, and she has her hair styled in cornrows. Her name is Caress. I picked her out at Kmart as a kid. She was my very first duplicated Bratz character. As a kid, I wanted to only have one of each character because I wanted my Bratz collection to be smaller than my Barbie one so I could spend time with each doll. I cracked when I found her at Kmart, and I actually was torn between her and 2003 Funk and Glow Yasmin. Then we have Celeste. This was also my first duplicated Bratz doll. So not just character-wise, but doll-wise. I got her in the Bratz Guy bin of 2011. It was this big lot of mutilated Bratz dolls and Barbies that I chased the entire summer at the flea market after I bought a few singles out of it and then decided that was stupid. I should have bought the whole bin. And this is my one that I got later on in 2012. She is from Craigslist number 3. This was a lot of mostly boxed Bratz dolls. She was one of the boxed ones. And what makes her so special is that A, she looks exactly like how I remember Caress looking when I got her because I took Caress's hairstyle out right away. Also, these were the last Bratz dolls and dolls in general that my dad ever bought me before he passed away. And then we have my 2003 Slumber Party Yasmin, and again, another first. This was my very first secondhand Bratz doll, and my very first adult purchased Bratz doll. So she is a 2-for-1. I found her inside our local flea market in the spring of 2011. I found her with a Strut It Megan I ended up buying. I always wanted Slumber Party dolls, as I mentioned, and she was wearing this outfit.
We used to ogle the Slumber Party dolls at Toys R Us.
Yeah, and KB Toys. I was really embarrassed because this was like my first time at the flea market buying dolls after a 5-year break. So I wasn't going to buy her, but it really weighed on my mind, and I'm so glad I caved. I actually sent Colleen in to pay for the dolls because that's how long ago it was. But then within a week, I was like carrying dolls around like it was nothing. Seriously, a week later. Then we have my 2 Wintertime Wonderland Yasmin dolls. I got both of them from Craigslist. So she's from Craigslist 1 and she's from Craigslist 2. And I got most of her clothes with her, but for a long time I didn't have enough to dress up my second doll, so I actually have hairstyle variations. You can't see because her hat is on, but I love the Wintertime Wonderland because I had Dana as a kid. Oliver, you're gonna have to move your tail. So these are my 2 Formal Funk Yasmin dolls. I love both of them because this was one of my first Bratz dolls I had as an adult. I found her inside a flea market with my Formal Funk Kobe with like most of their stuff. And I had the Super Style and Runway Disco as a kid, but none of the like regular Formal Funk dolls. So she was a dream come true.
Besides Dylan.
Besides Dylan, yeah. I think she was my first Formal Funk doll. I think I had her even before my like nude 50 Cent Sasha. And then this lady I got on Memorial Day 2014 in this big bin of mangy dolls that were literally covered in filth. She was one of the 3 Bratz dolls, and she was covered in mold. Like her forehead had tons and tons of mold on it, and I don't know if you can kind of see, she also has some discoloration on her forehead that was already there. And she's actually how I learned to boil wash Saran hair properly, because I was doing her hair and then I had to go pick Colleen up, so I kind of just left her in the boil wash water while I left, and I came back and her hair was like perfect. So then we have New Year's Celebration Yasmin. If you've watched all these other Bratz videos, and I'm sure you've heard me say the New Year's Celebration Yasmin lot from eBay, well, she's the reason I bought the lot. I love this like line of seasonally themed collectors Bratz dolls. I love her tinsely hair. I love her outfits. She's so luxurious. Then we have my 2 Flashback Fever dolls. My first one I got in the fall of 2012. I didn't know who she was when I bought her, but I was really intrigued by her cool makeup. So I bought her anyways, and she was also wearing a Strut It Megan top I really wanted. And then I got my next one at Savers in 2015, and she's actually also in my very first treasure hunt photo on Flickr, and she is like perfect. I even got some of her outfit with her. Then we have my 2 Tokyo A Go Go Yasmin dolls. My first I got at this big outdoor flea market on Father's Day, 2012. My dad's best friend took me and Colleen out to this awesome flea market. It was only a few weeks after my dad died. It was one of the best flea market days of my whole life, and I got her in a little bin with my Magic Snow Jackson, and she used to have a really big blue smudge on her face. And then I got her from the Flashback Fever lot in 2015, and she was in like perfect shape. And then we have my two Funk Out Yasmins. I got her with my first Tokyo Yasmin on Father's Day. She was one of my favorites that I got because I just love her red lips. And this doll next to her looks so different, does she not? They have like totally different looking faces.
Yeah, the one almost looks daintier.
Yeah, I got this one here on eBay with all of her stuff in 2013. I bought 4 Bratz dolls from this woman who is selling off her childhood dolls. I got Treasure Sasha, Tokyo Go-Go Sasha, and Flashback Fever Fiona from her. Nighty Night Yasmin. I got her with actually this Step Out Yasmin on Father's Day 2012, but they weren't in that big box with Magic Snow Jackson. They were actually in a little container that had a bunch of Mycene clothes, and they smelled like cigarettes when I got them. But she's so cute. Then we have Sunkissed Summer Yasmin. I got her with Strut It Yasmin number 5. She was in a big like lot with clothes on eBay, and she was the last Sunkissed Summer girl that I added to my collection, and she was one of the main reasons I bought that lot. We were both like so stoked to finally get her.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted a Sunkissed Summer Yas.
We have Girls Night Out Yas. She should look familiar if you watch my videos regularly. She is from the Mutilated Bratz lot of 2017. She was actually on just a torso when I got her. Her previous owner was really cruel, and they took off this arm and both legs. But her head was in perfect shape, so I think they were just experimenting with her. So I ended up getting her a body donor, and I think she's so beautiful. I think she's the prettiest of my Girls Night Out dolls. And then we have my 2 Step Out Yasmins. As I said, I got her on Father's Day 2012 with Nighty Night, and then I bought her separately at my flea market from Mulan Lady because she was wearing some Step Out Yasmin clothes. Then we have my Rock Angelz Rhoda Yasmin. She's the same doll as regular Rock Angelz Yasmin. She's just sold in the set in different clothes with Eaton. I got her in the Bratz bin of 2011. I was really excited because Eaton was also in there, and I had actually gotten her boots on my World Twins Nevaeh doll when I bought her like months before, so it all worked out. And then we have these two. So I got her from the Bratz bin of 2012. And I remember I used to braid her hair, like her whole head was all braids. And then this lady I got boxed with my Rock Angelz Jade that used to be boxed. And they were both moldy and smelly. Jade got stained, but she didn't. She's the prettiest of my dolls, and she has like really buttery soft hair. Speaking of buttery soft hair, one of my eye candy Yasmins also has buttery hair. My first one over here I got from Craigslist 1. I actually got the whole set of eye candy dolls in that lot, and that was one of the highlights for me because when I was starting to drift apart from dolls, one of the last times I went looking at dolls in the store, I saw the eye candy dolls, and that made me want them ever since. And she was missing one of her shoes when I got her, so she's actually wearing these Sweet Style shoes that Colleen got me from Target as like a little surprise. And then I got her boxed in 2013 or 2014 because she was really cheap, and I thought she was super pretty, and she has both her shoes, and I'm a Bratz addict. Mostly because I'm a Bratz addict. Then we have Hollywood Style Yasmin. I got her from Craigslist 1. She was actually in one of the worst condition of all the dolls. She was missing her whole outfit and just had her shoes and her necklace and her purse. So Slam and Soccer Yasmin and Fabulous Bratz Yasmin, they are both from Craigslist 1, and I actually just got this doll's shirt. For years she only had the skirt, the socks, and the shoes, but this was on my Strut It Sasha doll when I got her this past spring, and I love her. She's probably the prettiest doll from that first wave of sports. Fabulous Bratz Yasmin is as fabulous as her name would lead you to believe. I love this like furry pimp coat. Looks
like she murdered a purple muffin.
I know. Dad used to laugh at her coat too, remember? Because it was so ridiculous looking. I love her. Then we have Wild Wild West Yasmin. I got her for 50 cents naked at the flea market. So in 2011, I found a bunch of 50-cent naked Bratz dolls at the flea market, and I bought a few of them. But at the time I was pickier, so I left about half of them behind, and I ended up having a change of heart and wishing I had bought all of them, but every time I saw the guy, he only had like a few out. So then a year later, he ended up having her again. And I was really excited because by then I knew who she was. And her hair was a disaster zone when I got her. Then we have Birthday Bash Yasmin. I got her from the same seller as my first Flashback Fever Yas. And I just thought she was so pretty and so like intoxicating. I mean, look at her beautiful blonde hair. Then we have Pretty and Punk Yasmin. I also got her from this seller, but I got her in 2012 and her in 2014. I thought she was Pretty and Punk Megan when I bought her because she doesn't really look like a Yasmin. It's only the little like mole that gives her away. So when I got home, actually when I was in the car and Colleen was looking at her and I saw the blue streaks in her hair, I realized, oops, I made a mistake, but it's okay because I didn't have her, so it all worked out. Then we have Live in Concert Yasmin. I got her at Savers. It's funny because she looks like brand new, like her hair was still in the original style. I mean, I washed it anyways, but she was naked though. It was very weird. Then we have Treasures Yasmin. I also got her from Savers. She is also in my first treasure hunt photo on Flickr. I was so excited to get another Treasures doll because I had her part of her like accessories for a really long time since I got the Bratz shoe bin in 2012, so that was exciting. Then we have Birthday Yasmin from 2006. She was from Craigslist One. When I got the dolls, I wasn't as excited about her and Chloe because I just didn't find them as exciting as some of the like cooler lines, but I've had them so long that I really can't imagine my collection without them. And Gymnastics Yasmin, I got her from a yard sale on Memorial Day weekend 2014. I knew I didn't have her, but I didn't know who she was because she's got this really glittery makeup, so I was just really compelled by her. Then we have Genie Magic Yasmin. She's featured in my very first official transformation video on this channel, which is really cool. I also got her at Savers. Her hair was a complete ratchet mess. Her name is Calypso. I always wanted more Genie Magic dolls.
Especially Yas.
Especially Yas. She's probably my favorite from the set, besides Megan. Then we have Rodeo Yas. She is from the Salvation Army, and I got her not that long ago, sometime this winter in 2017. She's in one of my transformation videos with my Twilight dolls, and I always look at her and think of that photo Colleen took for the thumbnail where she's feeding my Monster High Avia doll. Then we have my Sleep in Style Yasmin. I got her at Savers, actually when I got Calypso. She's in that same video. She had wire crammed through her head for some reason. I don't know. It was really cruel and awful, so I had to get that all out. But I love her a whole bunch, and she's actually the same doll as Nighty Night Yasmin from 2004, but the way you tell them apart is that the Sleep in Style dolls have holes punched in their ears for earrings. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Like I said, if you want to see pictures of these dolls, feel free to check out my albums on Flickr. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.